This is the City of Dawn.
Let me warmly welcome you to the City of Dawn YouTube channel. My name is Mubati Seeker. I am a medical doctor, healer, writer, and teacher. I am the author of the best-selling Awake Giant, The Dawn of the Soul, which you can purchase on Amazon. This book can be your guide to inner development and self-discovery, helping you become who you truly are. I want to help you discover why you are here, what your unique and personalized mission is here on this planet called Earth, and how to set out with strong determination, courage, and resolve on the path that has been waiting for you so long. This path was made for you, and no one else can walk it for you. My channel and of course my book will help you with this. Mother, what does the moving idea force mean? It is an idea which gives you will, enthusiasm, and power of realization. A moving thing is that which tends towards realization and gives you the impetus towards realization. This sentence was from the mother's book, Questions and Answers, 1956. In this section, we find a very interesting combination of words. Transcendental imagination. It may seem a little difficult to approach, perhaps a strange expression to us, and as we can see, not only difficult to us but also to the disciples surrounding the mother in this class, since they asked her to explain its meaning. The quotation that is being read out here is also from Sri Aurobindo, who sometimes is very difficult to understand, and the mother is helping us all to understand them more easily. If we look at the term more closely, it is not so obscure because the word, the moving idea force, mean after all something that pushes us on, that nudges us to keep going on the path. A kind of impulse. We humans tend to get so wrapped up in things. We don't really like struggles. We'd rather, if we could choose, to define the ideal life as having a nice house, a good car, a tidy one, a nice, handsome or beautiful partner who does everything to make me happy. The other way around, it's not so important. Make lots of money, have friends, parties, holidays, beautiful and talented children, later grandchildren, and I could go on. How many things can we put together under the heading of the ideal life? I suggest a little game. Stop watching here and quickly write a list of what the ideal, happy and joyful life means to you. Write it down in headings or just think about it, then stop now. If you've done the exercise, look through your list. If you haven't written it down, just mentally scroll through the keywords of your ideal life. Here's the twist. I'd put my neck on the line that there's one word that will be on very few people's lists, and that's the progress. It's why we're here on this planet called Earth. That one word. A life of value may not actually mean to your soul the ideal life criteria that you have just listed. He came to evolve. He took flesh this time too, to evolve. And to do that, he had to pack your life with a lot of events and impulses that help you to swing out of the doldrums again and again. That push you over the edge and don't let you get too comfortable. That keep you going and keep you on the path, so that your soul can grow, because that's what it's here for. It didn't come to eat hamburgers. It didn't come to think about love and physicality all the time. It didn't come to suck on cocktails on the beach. Obviously, these are experiences, but think about it. How much progress can he make by drinking a cocktail? Usually nothing. And because of the intoxicating effect of alcohol, it brings a temporary loss of awareness and alertness, which is a very pleasant feeling, but is an unconscious state. It's exactly what we do at our so-called celebrations, family events, balls, concerts, parties, weddings. With a lot of alcohol, we put ourselves in an uninhibited, unconscious state where we feel very good for a few hours, and then if we have too much, because obviously in that state you won't have enough awareness to say, no thanks, that's enough. If I have another sip, I might feel sick. No, you drink until you've settled down for a day or two. Well, that's anything but progress. It's regression, or at least a dull state. From your soul's point of view, it's a waste of time. But time is the most important thing for us, our greatest treasure. Just think about it. No matter who you are, no matter how much money you have, there is one thing you can't buy, and the funny thing is that you have no idea how much of it you have left in this body. It is time. Imagine when you are born, it is already recorded somewhere in advance how long you are going to be here for. Your soul came on a particular mission. Let's say it came well prepared, and it didn't come here like the sloppy student who doesn't prepare for a test and just goes to write it. It will be what it will be. Suppose your soul has been preparing for years for this mission you are on. Let's say it's a relatively long mission now. Say you've got 90 years. A day is the smallest unit of time you've got. I thought seconds at first, but it's too big a number, let's go with days. This is your plan. You want to have experiences with such and such a soul. You want to make progress in such and such a field. Let's say God likes your plan. He may have a suggestion or two, but he goes through with the idea and says you've got it. 32,850 days. That's 90 years. That's no more of that, it's dwindling. You're a billionaire. You can't buy one extra day for millions. That's given. You're a billionaire and you don't know that your time currency is only 50 years. And you're now, for example, 48. The homeless beggar you look down on is the same age as you, and you scowl at him. But you throw a little change into his hat with great pride. Let's say you don't know that his time currency is 88 years. He begs because his soul has chosen to do so, and he spends his time more meaningfully than you do. Then I ask you, who is really rich? You are both 48 years old. You have 2 more, he has 40 more. What are you going to do with those 2 years? Since you have no idea that you have 2 years left, your only goal is still to increase your immense wealth. Since a billionaire cares whether the digits of a bank account has 9 or 10 zeros. So you save money, have fun, enjoy life, obviously have lots of friends, as women and men fall for you. I am going to ask you this in closing. Are these people really that into you, for who you really are? How would they even know who you are when you don't even know about yourself? You don't even know that your time is about to run out. Suppose you find out you have 2 years left. What would you do with that information? Would you start worrying that your time is running out and your mission, your soul, has not yet accomplished? Good heavens, I don't even know what the mission is. No, you don't. You won't even think of the word mission or development. Perhaps the name of God will come to your mind, and in your fear of death, you will utter some insincere prayers. And you'll feel terribly embarrassed because you don't want to leave your what? Well, your bank account ending in 9 or 10 zeros. Yes, my friend, it will stay here for someone else because it was never yours. It will only take your soul with it. And no one over there will fall on their knees because on the planet called Earth there was a bank account in the name of your then self. Do you think anyone over there will care? They'll say, okay, but what did you do? What is that you created? This number line, and your guardian angel will take out a piece of paper, write a number on it that will be one more zero than your former money in the bank account, put it in front of you and say, see, it took me 2 seconds to create this number line which you worked for down there for 50 years. But why? That was not your job. While you were chasing the number line, you forgot what you were really going for. You knew that when you were a kid. Remember what you used to draw when you were 4 years old. Fire tracks, not long number lines. Your soul went to become a firefighter and help many of your fellow men. He got 50 years. I get that you forgot because you were deceived by false lights and false slogans of enrichment. I get that you got in with the wrong crowd, but remember how many times there was a return point to the original plan. We were working on it, but you didn't listen to the signs, the messages we were sending to you. You wasted all the time you had. That's going to be an awkward moment, but to put your mind to ease, your guardian angel is going to end the conversation with, it's like this. I know it's not easy in the material world to resist illusions and deluded desires. Take a few years off, and then when you're ready, we'll make a new plan, and you can go back again and have the experience you've always wanted to have. You can finally be a firefighter. If we get back to the fact that you find out at 48 that you only have 2 years left, what are you going to do with the information? You'll probably spend a significant portion of your fortune trying to find the best doctors in the world, and you will be trying to extend by up to 1 month what you couldn't possibly extend by a day. But why, I ask? You have been wrong all along. Why do you want to stay? Why can't you let go of all this? I will tell you, because you are ignorant and have no idea what you should have done, and because you are afraid. You have never thought that there is anything beyond the visible material world, and the mere fact of death is the end of something for you. In a word, our time is constantly ticking, constantly dwindling. I cannot tell you how much you have, but I do know that even now it is dwindling by the second, and you cannot stop it. There is only one thing you can do. Do your best to make every second meaningfully count. By meaningful here, I don't mean chasing desires. I mean what is meaningful for your soul, the momentum, the progress. That's why Sri Aurobindo said, but still the greater and wider the moving idea force behind the consecration, the better for the seeker. In other words, the more you strive for progress, for living your life meaningfully, the higher you can reach. After death, when you return home, you will be told, bravo, you did it. You have surpassed yourself. So let me just say one more word about, say, a festival. Let's say you go to a 3-day festival with your so-called friends. And for 3 days you put yourself into a state of consciousness under the influence of alcohol and other mind-altering drugs. And the recovery from that should be 3 more days. That's 6 days in total. You might say that's not a lot if you have, say, 25,000 days of time. What's 6 days? It's really not much, but I ask you, how many of these wasted 6 days do you have? 6 is really not a lot, but if we change our basic unit of counting to seconds, 6 days is about 500,000 seconds. Isn't that a lot? Count to 500,000. Isn't that a lot? Or I'll give you another thought about wasting your time. Let's take another example. Let's say you have 70 years of time and you are now 35 years old. 70 years is about 25,500 days. You are now 35 years old and so far you have been going in a totally different direction from the one your soul has set for you. And although it has protested hand and foot, you have never taken seriously the seemingly random events around you, which have all been signposts for you. You were not living a conscious life, so you had many of those 6 days like the one we just talked about. Let's say at the age of 35, you have a trauma that happens to you. And it finally gives you a big enough push to finally get you out of the deadlock, to finally get you to start on the path of progress, to do what you really came here to do. Let's do the math. 25,500 days of time, half of which is already gone, so 12,750 days. The same amount is left. Only half of it is left for you to do all the things you were originally given much more time to do. How many wasted days? And why do we waste them so easily? It is precisely because of ignorance. We don't think about the fact that it is constantly dwindling. Imagine how much easier it would be if there was an app where you could log in with your unique code and see how your balance was doing. It would be quite frustrating to log in and see the countdown constantly counting down. But that's life. Disprove me if I'm wrong. These are facts. We just don't think about it. Just like it's a fact that your hearts keep beating. We could take that as a metric, heartbeats. It's getting smaller and smaller because your soul knows in advance how many beats it has left. I think the soul usually calculates the time it will take to find its way because apart from the very high-level souls who spend their last lives here in human bodies, most of us don't have a strong sense of mission from the beginning. There is a long enough time that our souls spends trying to lead us to the mission itself. Sticking with the previous example of the fireman, let's assume that the soul that was involved there succeeds and is able to live out what it wanted to live out. He has been given 50 years. But the first 20 years of that time are effectively taken up with childhood, education, choosing a partner, starting a family. So in an optimum case, he will spend 25 years in this helping profession. But the soul takes this into account. The problem is if we're not vigilant enough, we don't see the signposts. It's like driving off in your car without using navigation and not paying attention to the signs on the side of the road. Try it. Let me give you a funny example. Suppose you are now the soul and your car is the body. You as the soul give out the mission. The destination is to reach the village of Mubati. I've deliberately made a little more complicated it. I've checked which is the smallest village in the United States, and it's Mubati in Nebraska, which is a dwarf village with 1 inhabitants. Let this be the destination. You set off, but if you don't use navigation and you don't look at the signs, where are you going to go? Where is Mubati? You have no idea. I guarantee you'll never find it. On the other hand, if you let your soul tell you the right direction, and if you heard that it's a settlement in Nebraska, well, then wherever you are now, at least you'll have the direction, Nebraska State. In our imaginary journey, for the sake of clarity, let's not use GPS. Let's say we've been given the name of the country and let the signs remain the landmarks. It's easier for someone who knows the country well and knows where Nebraska is, for he has much more prior experience. This is a reference to the excellent symbolism of past lives. But if the soul is still at the beginning of its journey, if it has not lived in human flesh too many times, there is little prior experience. Even if it knows the destination, even if it has a car and fuel, it does not know where to start, because if it starts from New York City, for example, there are no road signs indicating where Nebraska is. What can be done in such a case? Well, ask around. There will be good and bad advisors that we meet. There will be people who will not know where we need to go and will tell us honestly, I don't know, ask someone else. But there will also be someone who wants to appear knowledgeable, who doesn't know where we are looking but pretends to know and directs us in a completely different direction. By taking his advice, we end up further away from our destination than we were when we started. We will meet many such people on our journey. The good news is this: we will meet people who know the right direction and will show us the way. They might even tell us how to get to Nebraska. They don't know where Monowai is in Nebraska State, but they will recommend a nice friend there who can help us, and so he will direct us to him. After a long wander, overcoming countless difficulties and hardships, roadblocks and traffic diversions, technical faults, we finally reach the person there in Nebraska State who can explain to us exactly how to get to this mini village. Finally, we arrive. Let's take our train of thought even further. Let's say someone is waiting for us there and we had to get to him. We ask him, why? Why did I have to come here? Why here? He says to us, brother, it's the journey that's important, not the destination. Just think back on how many experiences you have had in getting here. You have had cold, you have had hot. You have met helpers, you have met hindrances. But you have made it through the rough and tumble because you are here. Think of the progress you have made. True, you may have passed the signpost and lost your way, but when you realized it, you got back on track. At first you fell for the bad advisors, but later you were able to distinguish between helpful and harmful intentions. You can now tell the difference between true light and false light. The impulses that came to you on your journey have always pushed you further in the direction of progress, and you have succeeded in developing all that you needed to develop. Now you are here. Welcome. Rest here with us. All the experience you have gained on your journey is now yours to take with you. Your car has served you well. It has broken down, but you have always managed to fix it. You have realized that you should not load it with too much unnecessary stuff because it will drive slower and consume more fuel. However, it's worn out from the long journey. You can't drive it any further. You have to leave it here. Say goodbye to it. Thank it for bringing you here. Now come and rest. And when you're rested, we'll work out together where you want to go next, and we'll find you another car to go with. Your next trip will be both easier and harder. It will be easier in the sense that you will have more experience. You will know the country better. You will be able to identify who you can really expect help from, in the sense it will really make your progress easier. But in other respects, because you know more, you will be entrusted with a more serious mission. The terrain will be more difficult. There will be more obstacles. You will have to make more serious decisions. When you finish here, you will have a realization you can't imagine. You will see the world in ways you never dreamed possible. So take your time. We have time to prepare. Make a thorough plan and ask for help from those who have helped you along the way. You can't wait for them here. They'll get here sooner or later. They're all on their way here. They just all have different routes to take to get here. There will be some of them who will be happy to go with you, because together you can reach the finish line more easily, even in more difficult terrain. That's it. That's kind of how it works if you want to put it in perspective. It's probably pretty easy to imagine. It's not so difficult if you know what to look for, if you keep alert, if you don't let your guard down, and if you don't fail to notice the signs along the way. If we miss even one, it will complicate our journey. So I recommend vigilance above all else. The less time spent in ignorance, the less time in the 6 days mentioned above. Let's summarize today's video. We are here for progress. A life of value for your soul may not actually be the criteria for an ideal life that your ego would consider it to be. He came to evolve. He took flesh this time too to evolve. I need impulses along the way. Your soul must have packed your life's journey with a lot of events, impulses that help you to bounce back from the deadlock again and again. They push you a good deal and don't allow you to get too comfortable. Our greatest treasure is our time. No matter who you are, no matter how much money you have, there's one thing you can't buy. The funny thing is, you have no idea how much of it you have left in this body, and that's the time. We don't take money with us, only the experience. On the other hand, if you strive for progress, for living your life to the full, you can go to a higher level. And they will tell you when you die and come home, bravo, you did it. You have surpassed yourself. Remember, the city of dawn is you. You who are watching this video and who are thereby being brought into the consciousness of the Divine Mother. Live this in your daily life, and if you feel comfortable here, come back again and again. Be a regular guest here. Be a builder. Be a resident of the city of dawn. Discover the deeper truths of your life. Find your way to yourself and become who you really are. If you would like to join me, subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Facebook and TikTok, and feel free to share this video with others. The Mother's books are available to read for free at the link provided in the description, and I welcome any questions you may have via email. You can purchase my book Awake Giant, The Dawn of the Soul on Amazon. You will find the link in the description. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for bringing your hearts and souls. May Mother bless you abundantly on your journey through life. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.
This is the city of dawn.